Now there's an ongoing trend where everyone is building their own tools, their own dashboard that fits right into their business. I think this is going to be where the market is heading towards, and a very exciting trend. I'm very excited too. I'm doing that every day. So now the question is it still worth to buy tools from other people? The short answer is maybe and definitely yes. Let me give you an analogy of a food. Is it worth to eat out, or is it worth to cook at home? My favorite food is a Vietnamese pho, the rice noodle. My favorite, I have to eat them every week. This is something that I can't really compromise. So is it worth to cook that Vietnamese noodle at home, or I go to my favorite restaurant to eat out? Cost-wise, if I cook at home, I have to buy the ingredients. I have to make a huge mess of my kitchen. I have to boil the broth for, I don't know how many hours. And then I have to cook it. And I probably have spent at least 2-3 hours just to cook it. And I have a big family, so I have to cook it for more portions. So think about my human labor and also the ingredients I used. The cost is probably almost the same or even more to cook at home. Now talk about the value. So the Vietnamese restaurant that I love to go to have this welcoming atmosphere, and some of them actually have really nice views. And most of all, they offer more options. Not everyone wants to have a noodle. Somebody want to have sometimes they want to have a Vietnamese sandwich, also the pork and rice, or for me, I really like to have the drip cold coffee. Have you guys tried that? It's really good. So after pho, I love to drink that coffee. I can really make that at home. And also the feeling that when you open the door with your family and get greeted by the server and having this experience of a Friday night eat out is not something I can do at home. So value-wise, the restaurant definitely offers different values. And cost-wise, if it's almost the same, I would rather go to restaurant. So this can be applied to software and the tools. Now, if you're talking about the traditional SaaS, traditional tools that offer some services that you can replicate over a weekend, then definitely the answer is no. You don't have to buy those tools. But here is most important part. You have a Codex in cloud. The tool builders also have a Codex in cloud. They also have the same tools. And they can offer something that's unique that you probably cannot really do or you don't want to do. And we also have to talk about the tokenomics. Right now, the tokens are very subsidized and they're very cheap. Just like when Uber just came out. At one point, these tokens will get expensive. And if you want to maintain your own tool, it's going to be more and more expensive. So 3 things: the token cost, the maintenance, and also the depth of implementation. Let's move on to maintainability. So I would say 90% or 99% of these self-made tools were made this year or the last year. So all these tools are relatively greenfield, which means it feels really easy to implement a new feature. It feels really easy to maintain it. But as time goes by, as your application has more complexity, the maintenance cost, token cost will increase. Your cognitive cost will go up. You have used 10 or 20 tools, which means you might have to run 10 or 20 agents in parallel just to maintain your tools. At that point, we're about to break even. It might be better to buy the tools rather than building your own. The next thing is the depth of implementation. Because these tool builders spend 24/7, probably spend a lot of parallel agents to build their own tools. That means their tools can be better and better and better. So for you, using 10 tools, you are running 10 agents to maintain your tools. These tool builders probably run their 10 agents to maintain their own tool. So it's going to be 1 versus 10. That means the tool builder's tool will get more implemented, gets more polished, and get better. So that's what I still think. It's better to buy tools. Everything's still market economy. If a tool builder can build the tools faster, better, and cheaper and offer to their users, we live in a capitalist society. We live in a market economy. So if we can beat the market, yes, the tools are still justified. People should buy tools because it's justified by market, not by the concept that I can just build my own tools over the weekend. I'm going to use it for free. No, it's still the market logic. Now, let me talk about the tool builders. Are you building tools? Are you a tool builder? Are you building SaaS or plugins or platforms or even contents? That means you might have to think about what I just talked about. You need to position yourself against these custom tool builders and understand what you can offer more for these people. And here's some suggestions. This is what I actually do for my plugins, for my SaaS. What I do, I offer 3 C's. 3C. The first C, obviously, is a code. So basically, it's a product. You offer them, digital product. You offer your clients so people can use it. That's a traditional, bare minimum. The second C is a community. So community is where all the users who work your tool together to share their thoughts, to share their use cases, so that sometimes they might add some features for you too. So it's something that we can build on together. And third C is care. So what I mean by care is that AI is agents, but it doesn't have an actual agency. You still have to follow the instruction. We can build a loop to mimic human care, but I think caring is innately human ability. The intention, the emotion that you care about client's problem, the client's blocker and issues is something that machine cannot replicate. Actively find a way to care about your clients is still a human job. I would argue that would be the last job human would have is a care. So anyways, to conclude, it's still worth to buy tools from tool builders. For tool builders, we have to evolve to provide the tools that are worth to buy. That's what I think. Thank you.